Well, I called the phone number for the TVA, and it sent me over to the police, TVA police, and she didn't seem to think that there was any. She didn't have any information, but she didn't tell me not to go over it. So here we go. It's kind of pretty at night, and looking at the river, just a big dark void, you know. Well, so far so good. There's a park over here that's got some baseball dugouts. So I'm gonna go check those out, see if that might work. Otherwise my options are dwindling. Those woods over there I don't think are gonna be any good. You can't really tell over here, but they're pretty much thickets just like over on the other side. So let's see what we can do here. All right, good morning. Not in jail. So I camped here in the park. This tree provided a good cover. Also, the other thing it did too is I camped in the shadow of the tree from the lights from the cars. So yesterday was about a 20-mile day, and today I guess about 17, maybe 18. There she is. This is Shoal Creek, emptying into the Tennessee River, just right over there where those trees are. So there you have it. You know, I'm thinking more and more, and I don't know why, that I want to do the Great Loop. Just get some little putt-putt boat, little used, maybe a little used pontoon boat, put a shade structure on it, along with some mosquito netting. Just go up the intercoastal waterway on the East Coast, and up around that way, and then come back down. I don't know if I take the Tennessee to Mobile Bay or Mississippi down to New Orleans. And for some reason I'm feeling a little reflective right now. I don't know why. Kind of a cross between reflective and melancholic. But it's not because I foresee the final leg of the walk coming up. I don't know. Got to work through it. There is no fear, no sadness in love, right? And if one's got a true and perfect love, then there's nothing to be melancholic about. Onwards. So this is Highway 72. This is the same 72 that we took from when we got off the Natchez Trace to Tuscumbia, and then Muscle Shoals, and then crossed the bridge the dam last night. Down there, got into Florence, and came east this way. And we're basically walking this, I think, the whole way till we get over to Madison. Quite a big change, huh? All this noise. Now I got to get to the other side. Been walking on this side because there's been construction. So now I got to get over without getting run over. It's interesting seeing all these trucks here with their trailers on the boat ramp. They're all out recreating, fishing. It looks like a closed bridge. I'd like to go on that instead. Got a fence. So I see this bridge we just came over was built in 2005. So that makes it, what, 19 years old? I wonder when that bridge was built, how long it lasted before they closed it off to traffic, and how long would this bridge last, I wonder. I wonder what the comparison would be, huh? Concrete, a steel reinforced concrete bridge versus a steel bridge. Which one do you think would last longer? Well, noisy day so far along this highway. But do you remember the commercials from the 60s and 70s? You can trust your car to the man who wears the star. The big bright Texaco star. Oh, for the good old days, right? Every Texaco station, clean across the nation, for service you can trust. You can trust your car to the man who wears the star. The big bright Texaco star. La, 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 la. So I got about 7.7 miles. There's some TVA land. There's also County Park. I might try and slip in there. It's closed, but I'll compare that with the TVA land, which is right next door. I can disperse camp on the TVA land. And before I get there, there's a restaurant up ahead called the Waltons. Da 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 da. Good night, John Boy. So I think I'm gonna eat there. Well, I didn't know this. Did you? Jesse James, the James Gang. They were all the way here in Alabama. I didn't know that. So apparently in 1881, a guy was going to collect the payroll there in Florence and bring it back. On the way back, he was captured by the James Gang, and they robbed him, and they made him ride along with him, ride along with them up to Tennessee, so he could make their escape, and then got away. Well, fast forward a few weeks later, I think, one of the guys came into town and caused ruckus. So they arrested him, found that he had $1,500 in gold and stuff. So they arrested him as one of the suspects in the payroll robbery. Then fast forward, they still didn't do the trial. Well, they did the trial. They put him in jail. And then fast forward in 1881, Jesse James was killed. And then there was an extradition warrant out for Frank James. So he was captured in Missouri. They brought him back to Alabama for trial. And because he was kind of well loved by the people and done good stuff for the Confederacy, and I guess the testimony of the witnesses was not quite exact, after a 3-day trial, he was acquitted. And he went back to Missouri and lived an exemplary life until he died in 1915. You know, when I think of Jesse James, Frank James, Jesse James Gang, I was thinking of the Old West, you know? And then here we are in Alabama, and they were plying their trade here. I wonder what other surprising history I'll encounter. There's some pretty colors, huh? Trees are, more and more of them starting to change. Yeah, it's kind of cold out here. It rained a little bit while I was in this restaurant. It's called Walton's Restaurant, and you get a good amount of food for a low price. So if you ever come across the Wheeler Dam, or if you're near Rogersville, Alabama, stop by Walton's Restaurant. Now, gotta see where I'm going before it gets dark. Kind of pretty sunset, huh? And I think I'm gonna have to, at the very least, put up the tarp. And then just hope that it doesn't rain. I don't know what this means, but the past few days I've been having bouts of deja vu again. I think I mentioned it earlier in the trip, but I'm gonna say it's been like maybe the last week or so. About the last week, I guess, since I got on the Natchez Trace. Hannah, what do you think? It's a really interesting phenomenon. I used to have it a whole lot when I was younger, and then it kind of subsided. It never went completely away, but it subsided a bit. And then on this trip, I had it earlier quite a bit in the trip, and now it's reared its head again. Well, guess what? I'm not sleeping in the rain tonight. No siree. Thank you very much to Billy up there. I'm sleeping in this little building. Got a roof over my head. That's all I need. And stay nice and dry. This will be home for the night. So thank you very much, Billy. Everybody up there, thank you very much. I'll be out first thing in the morning. And, all right. Okay, gonna call it a night. Good night. Good morning. Want to take a look at the, oh, I already showed you, didn't I? Nice little place last night. Out from the dew. I'm getting out of here at 7 o'clock. Thanks once again, guys. That's a nice little place. Yeah, I was sleeping on the cement floor, but the place was still cozy. Now I'm walking up here back to the main road. It's about a little over 1.5 miles. Go up there, and then go to the store, get something real quick to eat, and then I think it's a couple-hour walk to Rogersville, maybe a little bit more than that, and I'll get something to eat. Go to the laundromat, dry out the bag. It's still damp from the other night. And then I think we only have about 14 miles today, unless I decide to go further. So I almost decided to just head back, or head that way instead of coming back to the road here. I'd get to go over that dam, the Wheeler Dam. And the only problem, though, I guess, is that it adds 9 more miles. And I'd be on the other side of the river. So, and as far as camping spots, I think it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So, it's going back up this way, staying on the north side of the river. I suppose we can explore the south side of the river if we come back through here again someday, huh? So right here we're crossing a place called Second Creek. Second Creek, then emptying out into the river over there. But you know, the funny thing is, I don't remember crossing the first creek or a third creek. So how could this be the second creek? And there's no first or third creek ahead of us on the map or below us, behind us on the map. I have second guesses about Second Creek. Feeling a little goofy, are we, this morning? But regardless if there's a first or a second creek, hey, look at that. You see that in the background there? US 101, Santa Barbara. I wonder if he's moving from here to California. But you're almost there. Got some more information on the Second Creek. Second Creek was actually a creek. It came through there from, I think it said Lawrenceville County, Tennessee. But when the dam was created, then all this water backed up into here, just creating this extra part of the lake, I guess you'd say, Wheeler Lake. So the old Second Creek actually flows, or did flow, right behind here, right through here. There's actually a community of homes and stuff too that were here. And then when the dam was built in the 30s, everybody had to move. Otherwise, they'd be underwater right now. Well, I came across this marker off the road here. Guess what? There is a first creek, or there was a first creek, which is now Joe Wheeler State Park up there. So we're actually going to be passing what used to be First Creek before Wheeler Dam was built and created Wheeler Reservoir, Wheeler Lake. Huh. Anyway, this is talking about a guy, last name is Bernie. He, get this, during the Revolutionary War period, it was in 1778, he signed up at the ripe old age of 15 and served 2 tours as a mounted rifleman. And then after that, oh, look at that, found a dime. I wonder how you get this money just in random places on the road. Anyway, after the war, he settled in South Carolina with his family. So, see, that was, he served a total of 14 months. So that would have made him 16. Maybe 17. Already had war experience. Then they moved to Tennessee. And then they moved to this area here, and they leased 1,600 acres from the local Indian chief. Then in 1811, they were evicted off the property. Didn't say what the reason was for. Just said soldiers came and evicted them. So they moved back up to Tennessee, over there. And then when the treaties with the Chickasaw and the Cherokee were signed and implemented, then they came back down here and they bought land and farmed it, and the rest is history. All right, update. In Rogersville, and I stopped at the laundromat back there. Wasn't doing too well over there. About 10 dryers were out of order, and then the one I tried to use wouldn't, almost took my money, so I had to use another one, and it wasn't drying really well. So I thought, oh, okay. So I went to get something to eat. I noticed them, but I didn't think anything of it. It was a family, a large family sitting across from me. So anyway, they leave, and then the waitress comes and said, oh, that family just bought your meal. So thank you, family, whoever you are. And then as I left, the pharmacist was putting flowers outside his pharmacy. We got talking, he gave me some water. So a very nice day, very nice people. And while I was in the restaurant, I was checking places to camp. I think we camped somewhere else instead of where I have planned. And I'm going to go over to this other laundromat to get the clamminess out of my bag, sleeping bag. And then from there maybe I'll just determine where I'm going to camp. Maybe have only 5 miles to go today, 6 miles, if that. Here's something different. I can't say that I have seen a combination restaurant like that, Mexican and Japanese. Have you? Huh. El Patron. Well, that was nice. I was walking along the highway here, and all of a sudden this police car up ahead put its lights on, stopped her in the middle lane, said, where are you going? So I told him, I don't think I gave him the answer he expected. So I'm going to Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. Anyway, we got talking. Hello there, Officer Kirchmar. Rogersville PD. He's only been with our Rogersville PD for a month. He came from Decatur. He likes it a lot better over here. And look at this. Gave me a cookie his wife made. Thank you very much, Mrs. Kirchmar. So he offered to give me a ride. And I was tempted to take it, but I'm only coming, I think about another mile and a half to go. So anyway, thank you very much. And I was kind of wondering if I was going to stop at the store up here and just get a snack to hold me over tonight, because that lunch is still sitting in me. But now they got this big huge cookie, I don't have to eat till morning. I should also say, I was telling him I almost detoured and went on the south side of the river instead of staying on the north side. And he said I made a wise decision. He was with the Decatur Police Department. So I asked him, well, what's it like over there? Because I was going to stay over there on that side. I was going to cross over to that side and then cross back over onto the north side here at Whiteside, which is just north of Decatur. He said Decatur is a place where people from Chicago and people from Detroit and people from somewhere else, he said. So there's a lot of shootings over there, gangbangers, and the homeless population has really swelled, and there's a lot of substance abuse and stuff. So nothing happens by chance. Stayed over here, stayed out of trouble, and got to meet him. Well, we're here. Just gonna find a spot that I think we'll go in here. After this car goes by. Even though it's okay to camp here, they may not know that. Well, I think this will do. Got a nice bed of pine needles. Just have to clear out some pine cones and a couple of sticks, and we'll be all set. About 20 yards off the little road there. And got some nice cover, so no dew tonight. So that'll be it. I'm on the, let's see if I got a screenshot for you here. I'm right here on the edge of the county. Lauderdale County and the next county over. That tells you a lot, doesn't it? If I got a map here, I'll show it to you. Otherwise, no, that's it for tonight, and then tomorrow I have no idea where we're going. I had a spot picked out, but I might change that too. So, good night. Good afternoon. It's 12:05. Yep, you heard that right. It's 12:05. I'm finally getting up and getting going. Needless to say, it was. I got a lot of sleep last night and this morning. So now I really don't know where I'm going to be tonight because the spot that I had picked out, it's too far for me to get there before nightfall, and there's no moon tonight. So let's see what happens, what the day brings. And I think, let's see how to get out of here. All right. It's got this little country road for just about a mile or so, and then back onto the highway for a good part of the day, if not the whole day. And of course, this would have been a very nice, comfortable morning to have walked. It was somewhat overcast and cool, so that would have been perfect, and there was just a very slight breeze. Now, of course, I've waited until it clears up and the sun comes out. So it'll be only about 80 degrees, but still, you know, that's 80 degrees, but also in the sun and with the humidity. Yeah, you know, I like to do that, right? Well, fortunately, nothing happened last night. Otherwise, I'd have to backtrack on my route, go back to where I came from. Yeah, back on a noisy road, although we got a break in traffic here. And looking at the Anderson Creek, would have been coming out of there and then flowing down this way to the Tennessee River. But with the dam and all, this is now Wheeler Reservoir, and then the actual Tennessee River. It's right out that way and around the corner, going like that. I guess it'd be kind of nice living on a lake, huh? Well, here's a first. First time I've ever found a gun outside the road. I don't need one, so I'll leave it there for the next person. Like there's going to be a next person coming through here, right? And here's a holster with a clip in it. You wonder how these things just end up like this, right? You know? So I think what I'm going to do is, there's a highway sign here. I think I'll move them both next to that sign, so in case the highway workers come out, they can discover it and turn it in. Yep, that's what I'll do. Go back and get that done. Okay. Come down right here. Here's a sign. Anderson Creek, Tennessee River. So if they discover the gun and it's been used in a robbery, it's got my fingerprints all over it. I didn't do it. Really, I didn't do it. It's a frame up. You know, I've mentioned about abandoned houses in the past, but I've never really mentioned abandoned buildings and businesses. You always wonder too what it was like back in the day when they were open. Types of the amount of business they got and how they were. You can tell this one's been gone a long time. It's got the old analog type of pumps, and here it's just been sitting for a long time, and long time, and long time. Besides that gun back there, it's been pretty uneventful along this highway. I came across this, Fort Hampton. So Fort Hampton was built north of here about a quarter mile in 1810. And the purpose of the fort was actually not to protect the United States or anything, but it was actually to keep U.S. Settlers off of the land that was owned by the Chickasaw Indians. And so once the treaty was signed by the U.S. and the Chickasaw, which moved the Chickasaw, I guess, further west over towards the Natchez Trace, then the fort wasn't needed after that. So after 1816, it was abandoned. And the other interesting thing too is that the soldiers stationed here, not only was it their job to keep the American settlers off of Indian lands, soldiers also built the many of the first roads that were through here, which helped to continue the westward expansion of the United States. So this has been one of those la-di-da-di-da-da-da days. So after getting out late, and I went about 6 miles to this store called Clement's Mini Mart. Got some pizza, got a cheeseburger, orange juice, iced tea. Then made myself a root beer float, which is just funny. I was answering somebody on a comment just yesterday that I haven't made a root beer float, I think, since Arkansas, maybe? So anyway, I stayed at that store longer than I should have. Now it's after, it's going on 4 o'clock. But one nice thing is I left a message for a church up ahead. 7 Mile Post Church. They finally got back to me and said, yeah, you can sleep at the church. So thank you very much, Pastor Tony. And with the amount of miles I have to go, I'll probably get there at dark. But that's all right. Don't have to set up or find a spot to sleep. It's just going to be underneath the pavilion. But anyway, the nice thing is I'm off the main road. So I'll just be walking these back roads. I don't know why, but I'm always somewhat mesmerized by cotton fields, cotton plants. Just to think that cotton grows in plants. I mean, I don't know. I mean, sure, I learned as a kid, Eli Whitney and the Cotton Gin. you know, cotton plants, cotton pickers, the cotton gin, and all that. But I just never made the connection as a kid. Cotton, oh yeah, clothes. And here I am always wearing wool, right? But, oh, the other thing too, you've most likely felt cotton balls or something that you buy at the store. You know, cotton that comes right from the plant, it's a lot softer than any cotton you've ever felt. It's really soft, much softer than even cotton balls that are in the bags that you buy at the store. So I don't know what happens to the cotton after they process it, but it's certainly not as soft as picked fresh from the plant. I guess that's probably just like fruit or vegetables you buy at the store, right? If you eat it picked fresh off the plant or the tree, it tastes a lot better than the stuff you buy at the store, usually. Well, I'm almost there. I think I got about another 15 minutes to go, but it's interesting. I've been walking through this area here, and I don't know. For some reason, it almost feels like Louisiana to me. Kind of those parishes in western Louisiana as you cross over from Texas as you're going east. I don't know, but also the feeling I've gotten in this area, particularly the past 2 miles, it's been, I don't know, it's been like this friendly, comfortable, cozy feeling. Can't put my hands on it because I haven't interacted with anybody except waving at them in the cars, but I don't know. Huh. You know, you get those feelings about areas sometimes. You know, from time to time, people have asked me, well, how do you deal with dogs? Do you carry protection? Do you use pepper spray? What do you do? And what I've found is that most dogs are just barking from their property there. They aren't coming out at you really in a charge. Some of them are coming out, but they're just staying within their property boundaries. And those dogs that really start running up on you, when you stop and face them and like you whistle at them and say, hey, how you doing? And kind of pat your knees and bend down, it makes them most of the time stop in their tracks. Because they go, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not expecting that. And when you just kind of talk to them and say, hey, how you doing? You know, having a nice day? And it kind of short circuits their process. Then in the rare times, I think there's only been a couple times where there's been a couple dogs. There's one on the first walk, somewhere in Ohio. I forget exactly where it was. A couple bulldogs came out. And they actually came out in the street and they didn't stop. But what I found is the sticks. They don't know what to do about sticks. So when you just put the sticks between you and the dog goes, huh, what? Or if you're walking off, you know, and you got your back turned to them, and they're still kind of yipping behind you, if you just drag your sticks behind you, it kind of befuddles them, and they just can't figure it out. But anyway, like I was saying, that's a pretty sunset. I've never had any problems with dogs, and dogs have never had any problems with me. Yeah, well, I made it. Pretty good sized church, 7 mile post. And I'm staying back here. So it's way off the road. So I'll be out of sight, out of mind. Except for anybody who, like those guys saw me over there. And I think this house over on the other side saw me. So if they have any suspicions, I might be getting a visit from one of them. Otherwise, should be a nice and peaceful night out from the dew. And I really like how this camera picks up the light sometimes. You know, if you look at the background of the sky, it's a lot darker than what it looks like on the camera. So anyway, I'm going to camp here in the shadows. And then be gone in the morning. Good night. Good morning. Bad hair day, huh? Anyway, thank you very much, 7 Mile Post Church, Pastor Tony. Had this place all to myself last night. Very good, very good. Stayed out of the dew, stayed out of the humidity. And today, we're going basically due east towards the interstate. And today's the day I'm going to take a day off after I get to Sherry's place, which is out that way in the middle of suburbia. So I'll probably get onto the edge of where suburbia starts, and then she's going to come and pick me up. But this place, again, I'm telling you, you know, it for some reason, it feels like, I can't put my finger on it, but like I mentioned last night, it kind of feels like Louisiana, down by the Gulf. I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I'll ponder that more today, and when I really come up with the answer where I think this is, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, getting a late start as usual, so let's get a move. Not late like yesterday, but let's get going. And off we go, and just like that, another deja vu of this time of putting my pack on. Huh. Oh, look, this guy come to greet me. Good morning. You gonna talk to me again? Well, good morning to you. Yes, good morning. Hope you have a nice day. Got any friends around here? No? All right. See you later. Don't follow me down the road like the dog last night. Okay, I'm glad you won't. See you later. It's beginning to look like fall, huh? Look at all these leaves. Finally. Well, look, here's a cotton field that's been harvested. I guess you call it harvesting, right? And it's amazing how much gets left over after harvesting. Guess I can go in and glean the field and spin myself some clothes, right? Huh. I wonder what percentage of the cotton gets left over in the field after harvesting, and how that compares with, say, corn, soybeans, wheat. Because there is you can still see a fair amount of cotton out there. And it definitely has been harvested. Well, believe it or not, we're turning left here. I just had an interaction with somebody that made me chuckle. There was a guy walking this way towards me, shirtless and long hair, and he was pushing along a bicycle. As I got closer, he said, "Oh, you got a flat tire out here or something?" So I told him, no, I'm just walking across America. And he goes, I hear you. And kept continuing on. I wasn't expecting any sort of response or anything like that. It's just the response I got was kind of funny, you know. I hear you. And here's where the cotton goes after it gets harvested, or picked, or whatever you call it. Cotton gin. So somehow it goes in there, they do their thing, and they bundle it up. Sits out here, and they truck it to wherever it goes. Take a look at this. Here's a couple of cars that could probably use a few runs to the car wash, huh? So, I'm here at this place called B&K Grocery, right? And I got myself my daily dose of vitamin C, right? And then, who else, none other than shows up is, say hello to Sherry.
Hello.
Now, who's Sherry?